When we talk about deciduous trees, what we're really talking about is a survival strategy. A way that some trees have adapted to deal with challenging seasons. The word deciduous comes from a Latin word meaning to fall off. In the context of trees, it means that these plants drop all of their leaves during a particular part of the year, most often in autumn in temperate climates, or during dry periods in other climates. They do this to conserve energy and water, because maintaining a full canopy of leaves can be costly in terms of resources when conditions aren't favorable. This is different from evergreen trees, which retain foliage year-round. Many evergreens have needle-like or scale-like leaves that are tougher and less prone to water loss. But deciduous trees generally have broad, flat leaves that let them maximize photosynthesis while conditions are good. As daylight shortens and temperatures begin to drop in autumn, deciduous trees begin a physiological process that prepares them for leaf drop. They withdraw nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus out of their leaves and store those nutrients in roots and branches for use next season. At the base of each leaf stem, a special layer of cells called the abscission layers forms. This layer gradually severs the leaf's connection to the tree in a controlled way. When the leaf finally falls away, it's not a random rip, it's a carefully managed process. Before leaves drop, the green pigment chlorophyll breaks down, unmasking other pigments such as carotenoids and anthocyanins. That's what gives us the bright fall colors we associate with oaks, maples, and sycamores in autumn. The reason this strategy developed has to do with the climates where these trees evolved. In regions with cold winters, water in the soil can freeze, making it unavailable to the roots. Meanwhile, leaves continue to lose water through tiny pores called stomata. If the tree kept its leaves, it would lose more water than it could absorb. By shedding leaves, the tree reduces surface area and slows down its metabolism, essential for surviving a long cold season. In some tropical or subtropical climates that have distinct wet and dry seasons, trees may drop leaves during the dry period for similar reasons, conserving water when it's scarce. From an evolutionary perspective, the deciduous habit did not evolve just once and get passed down through all deciduous trees. Instead, this strategy evolved repeatedly in different lineage in response to similar environmental pressures. That's why you see deciduous species in many unrelated groups, in maples, oaks, cottonwoods, ashes, all using the same basic strategy to cope with seasonal stress, even though they are not closely related. Deciduous trees exhibit a set of traits that make sense when you look at their life cycle as a whole. Their leaves tend to be broad and flat, ideal for capturing sunlight and driving photosynthesis during the growing season. They enter dormancy when conditions deteriorate, conserving resources. They often grow quickly in favorable conditions, taking advantage of light and moisture when available. And because many deciduous species are angiosperms, or flowering plants, they reproduce through flowers and seeds rather than cones, as you see in most conifers. There are exceptions, like larches, which are conifers but still deciduous, but the general pattern holds true. Here in California, Our landscape supports a diverse group of native deciduous trees, many of which are tied to our Mediterranean climate or to riparian environments along rivers and streams. You'll find California buckeyes with its compound leaves and spring flowers, western sycamore, which dominates many stream corridors, big leaf maple, known for its very large leaves in the water forests of Northern California, and Fremont cottonwood, a classic riparian species that drops its leaves as summer dries out the soil. In the foothills, you might see blue oak, shedding leaves during dry stretches as a drought tolerance strategy. And along waterways, you'll find white alder and velvet ash dropping foliage at season's end. These deciduous trees play important roles in their ecosystems. When leaves fall and begin to decompose, they contribute organic matter to the soil, which feeds microorganisms and supports nutrient cycling. That in turn feeds insects, birds, and other wildlife. In riparian zones, trees like sycamore and cottonwood stabilize banks, shade water, and help keep aquatic ecosystems healthy. Many of these species are also important from a human perspective, valued for shade in urban landscapes, for their hardwoods in furniture and flooring, and for their seasonal beauty. So when we think about deciduous trees, we're really thinking about a broad group of species that have converged on a common adaptation to cope with predictable seasonal challenges. They grow quickly, use favorable conditions efficiently, shed their leaves when it's no longer advantageous to keep them, and then resume growth when conditions improve. Understanding how this cycle works helps us make better decisions about pruning, irrigation, risk assessment, and long-term care, because we can anticipate how these trees behave in response to environmental cues.